Suddenly, a loud sound broke the quiet, followed by 11 more sounds, a big clock striking midnight. Quiet talking went through the room. Peter Huang leaned close, whispering, "Heads up, it's time." Before he finished, as the clock's sound stayed, Du called out in a voice like he was in a trance, "Listen." The room became completely quiet. Then, clear and musical, piano notes were heard. They came from the big piano, but no one was at the keys, and the lid stayed closed. Peter nudged me. "Explain that." I whispered back, "Easy. A hidden recorder could do it." Mrs. Tian's soft cries broke the quiet. Du stepped forward, his face serious, and came close to the empty piano seat. He bowed a little. "Miss Rose, you have returned. Let our guests enjoy your music. Why not open the piano lid?" His words and manner were so strange, I almost laughed. He sounded like a crazy person. But then, something unbelievable happened. I heard it clearly, a soft woman's soft sound, like a young girl's. In that place, the sound made me feel cold. Then, the piano lid began to open slowly, by itself. Du was the only one near the piano, his hands together at his chest. Everyone could see him. Was Rose's spirit really opening the lid? The room filled with gasps. I tried to think of a reason. Maybe Du was a magician, using dark threads to open the lid in the dim light. A skilled illusionist could do that easily. But then something else confused me. As the lid opened, the piano keys began to move, as if invisible hands were playing them. The music, normally beautiful, sounded strange, making me breathe faster and my skin feel creepy, like we had entered a haunted place. The keys played for about 10 minutes before stopping. Du spoke again, talking to the empty seat. "Miss Rose, would you like to speak with your aunt?" Mrs. Tian cried out very emotionally, "Rose, say something to me." Du stepped back. "Mrs. Tian, she has words for you. Come closer." Mrs. Tian, shaking, came close to the piano, her hands shaking as she reached out. Du stopped her. "Mrs. Tian, you cannot touch a spirit." In the red light of the incense, I saw tears running down her face. "Rose, what is it? Speak." Du held out a hand. "Mrs. Tian, Rose's words can only reach you through my hand. Put your ear against it." She nodded, pressing her ear to his hand, listening very carefully. Her face turned towards me, changed from sadness to joy, then became serious. "Rose, must it be this way?" We heard nothing, but Mrs. Tian clearly did. After a moment, she nodded again. "Rose, if that's what you want, I will do it." Yes, I promise not to tell anyone." She started crying. "Rose, Rose." Du lowered his hand slowly. "Her spirit has left." Mrs. Tian cried, calling, "Lidong, Lidong." Tian Lidong shouted, "Turn on the lights." The big light came on brightly again. Mrs. Tian rushed to her husband. "Lidong," Rose said. She stopped suddenly after 3 words. "I had been watching Du the whole time." Peter whispered, "You believe it now?" "No way," I said back. "There is a big trick happening here." I must have spoken too loudly, because everyone turned to look. Du's face showed no emotion, his eyes fixed on me. Mrs. Tian protested, "No, Mr. Du really called her spirit. I heard her voice." I shrugged. "Peter, let's go." I noticed the man in sunglasses, who had been sitting in the corner, was already going towards the door. Peter quickly talked to the others, letting the stranger leave before us. When we stepped outside, I saw him get into a taxi. My sharp eyes saw the license plate. On the way home, Peter Huang asked, "I agree there is a trick here, but is not what Du Zhong did a bit too mysterious?" I shrugged. "It seems spooky at first, but much of it can be explained." Peter nodded. "Sure, the piano lid could be moved with dark threads, the music could come from a small recorder, and even Mrs. Tian's talk could be a tiny speaker in Du's hand, whispering to her. But how do you explain the piano keys moving by themselves?" I thought for a moment. There is probably something hidden inside the piano we don't know about. "Peter, I am going back to the Tian's living room tonight to check it out." He turned to me. "Without their permission?" "Yes," I said. Peter was quiet for a bit, then asked, "Do you want me to come?" I thought about it. "No. You have your own work. First, find out what Mrs. Tian heard through Du's hand." "I will do my best," he said. As we talked, the car stopped at my house. Another taxi was coming from the other direction, and when I saw its license plate, my heart beat fast. I opened the door fast, jumped out, and stopped it. It was the same taxi the man with the mustache from the Tians had taken, and now it was near my house. I had to know more. I leaned into the driver. Was your last passenger a man with a mustache? He nodded. Yes. Where did he get out? I asked. The driver looked at me. Who are you? Peter came up, showing his ID. Private detective. The driver pointed ahead. Right there. My heart raced as I followed his finger right to my front door. Are you sure? I asked. Of course I am sure, he said, annoyed. I turned to Peter. Did you notice the man with the mustache and sunglasses at the Tians? He shook his head. Not really. Why? I waited. The whole thing was a big mess, too hard to explain. Never mind. I will tell you everything tomorrow after I check the Tian's house. Peter warned, be careful. Breaking into someone's house is against the law. I smiled. As long as you don't tell on me, I will be fine. We separated. I took out my keys, ready to go in through the front door, but then I thought of something. I went around to the back door instead. It was locked, and the keyhole showed no signs of being touched. Old Si always kept the back door key. A master key could have opened it easily, but why had that man with the mustache come straight to my house from the Tians? I stayed by the door, feeling more worried. Something was very wrong. I decided to sneak into my own house to find answers. Stepping back, I saw an open window on the second floor. Climbing up was easy. In 2 minutes, I was inside, listening quietly in the dark. It was past midnight. Old Si should have been asleep, but I heard his voice, low and quiet, like he was talking to someone. I could only hear parts. I really cannot know more. My senses became sharper. Moving quietly, I went downstairs.
Old Si's voice stopped. A moment later, I heard him sigh. I crept to his room and called out, Old Si, what are you doing?
A loud thud came from inside. Something was wrong. I grabbed the doorknob, but it was locked. Old Si, are you okay? I asked. His voice sounded strained. I am asleep. Then who were you talking to? I asked. And no one. He spoke with difficulty. Must have been talking in my sleep. Open the door, I said. After a minute or two of tension, he unlocked it. I stepped inside, looking around the room. A chair lay on the floor, but nothing else seemed out of place. I looked at Old Si. What are you hiding from me? His face turned pale. Nothing, Wesley. Why would I hide anything from you? His nervousness only made my suspicions stronger. Old Si had watched me grow up. He had no reason to keep secrets. Yet here he was, acting secretive. I did not push more, just looked at him. He moved nervously, asking, Wesley, when did you come back? I ignored the question. Old Si, a man with a mustache, came into our house. You did not see him? His face went even whiter, his voice shaking. And no, his words said no, but his face showed something else. Why was he protecting this man? The idea of Old Si working against me was impossible, yet the evidence was right in front of me. I made a sound that meant nothing. Maybe I was wrong. Go back to sleep. I need to leave. Old Si nodded eagerly. I acted like my suspicions were gone, stepping out and sitting in the living room for a bit. I turned off the lights, walked loudly up the stairs, then quietly came back down, hiding in the shadows to watch Old Si's door. Sure enough, his door opened with a quiet sound. His bald head came out, looking around before going back inside. I heard him whisper, "Go now." A person slipped out, moving secretly. I knew the shape at once, the man with the mustache from the Tians. I smiled to myself, staying still. He went towards the cellar door, and I followed quietly. At the cellar door, he took out a key and unlocked it. My heart sank. Old Si also had the cellar key. This man having it meant he and Old Si were working together. I sighed quietly. If I could not trust Old Si, who could I trust? As the man pushed the cellar door open, I moved forward fast, catching it just before it closed. "No more games, friend," I said coldly. He jumped, surprised, and fell into the cellar. A noise of things hitting echoed as he stumbled. The cellar was completely dark, and standing in the doorway made me an easy target. I jumped down, holding my breath, and said loudly, "There is no other way out. Do you think you can escape?" A loud breath came from about 10 feet away. I moved in a circle, following the sound, putting myself behind him. Just as I got ready to jump, a click was heard and the cellar light turned on. I had not expected that. Without thinking, I threw a punch forward, then looked up. Old Si stood at the cellar door. I went back against the wall, ready for an attack from both him and the stranger. But when I saw the man with the mustache, my mouth fell open. No mirror was needed to know I looked silly. The mustache was gone, the sunglasses were on the floor, and the feathered hat had rolled away. A lot of long hair fell out, and even with the suit, it was clearly a woman, my cousin, Red. She was rubbing her leg, making a face from the fall. I took a deep breath, ready to get angry, but two things stopped me. First, I saw Red's bags and a small bed in the cellar. Then, I saw her tearful, angry look. I sighed. "Red, what is this?" She did not answer, just started crying loudly. I looked at old Si, who gave a shy, sad face. "She made me promise not to tell you. Said she would jump into the sea if I did." I shook my head. "So she never left the house?" Old Si nodded, embarrassed. I helped Red up, noticing she was wearing my suit. I understood. "Red, it was you hiding in my closet while I was talking to Peter, wasn't it?" She did not look at me, her voice challenging. "So what?"
Suddenly, a loud sound broke the quiet, followed by 11 more sounds, a big clock striking midnight.
Peter Huang leaned close, whispering, "Heads up, it's time."
Du was the only one near the piano, his hands together at his chest. Everyone could see him. As the lid opened, the piano keys began to move, as if invisible hands were playing them. Mrs. Tian cried out very emotionally, "Rose, say something to me." Du held out a hand. "Mrs. Tian, Rose's words can only reach you through my hand. Put your ear against it." Mrs. Tian rushed to her husband. "Lidong," Rose said. Peter nodded. Sure, the piano lid could be moved with dark threads. The music could come from a small recorder, and even Mrs. Tian's talk could be a tiny speaker in Du's hand, whispering to her. I turned off the lights, walked loudly up the stairs, then quietly came back down, hiding in the shadows to watch Old Si's door. I grabbed the doorknob, but it was locked. "Old Si, are you okay?" I asked.